Good evening, everybody. I've been missing y'all. I'm opening me a can of salmon today. And you know I am going to make a salmon patty out of half of it. And the other half, I'm going to make a little salmon salad. Kind of like a tuna salad, except it'll be salmon. Now, all this juice that's left in here, what I do is I drain it. And I save it because my dog, Biscuit, she loves salmon juice on top of her dry dog food. So whatever I can do to make that bulldog happy, I'm going to do it. It's as cold as everything out here in Andalusia, Alabama today. I'm not used to it being so cold. I've got both my heaters just running full blast. I've got on this t-shirt, this long sleeve. Somebody gave it to me, and thank you. And I've got on a little undershirt looking thing under this. Little extra little thing under this. So I should be pretty warm, hadn't I? Anyway, I'm gonna make me one little fried patty for dinner today, and then I'm going to use the other half. I'm gonna make me a salad, I guess, for tonight. So I'll have salmon twice today. It'll be good for me. So I'm just gonna take it out just a little bit. Make me a patty or two. I like salmon salad though, if y'all have ever tried that. It's real good. I just kind of do it like a tuna salad with some celery and mayonnaise and stuff. So I got out this much salmon. I'm gonna make me a little patty out of this. I'm gonna turn my oven on over here. Turn my eye on. Oh, listen, you remember the other day when I told you I didn't know why you call it an eye? That I'd always just call it that. Well, somebody wrote in and said in Germany that they all call it eyes, and they've called it that for forever. So said it started back when you had wood stoves and you had that little metal thing that went on top of the wood stove. It's that little thing you lift it up and then the heat would come up. That's why they call it an eye. And let me tell you something else funny about that. When I was teaching science one day, I don't know how in the world we got on this conversation in science, but I was telling the children, now these are 7th graders, I was telling them that my mother had a wood stove, you know. So I went on and talked about the wood stove, and we cooked on it and all like that. So this little boy in the back raised his hand and said, "Miss Gantt?" I said, "Yes." And he said, "How come that wood stove didn't burn up?" Do y'all catch that? He thought the stove itself was made out of wood. Bless these babies' hearts. You know, we old adults, we just assume that all these children know this stuff when they don't, because they weren't around it. Heck, they raised with all this modern stuff. Let me get me out an egg. Anyway, so they were raised with all this modern stuff. So I'm gonna put me one egg in here. That's probably gonna really be too much because these are those double yolk eggs. I'll have a egg salmon. I'll have an egg salmon patty on it. Let me get this skillet. I'm gonna put just a scoop of oil in this skillet. I'm not gonna put much, just enough to fry it. And I'm gonna fry it kind of slow. Put just a little oil in there. That ought to be plenty. Beat this up. Now, I don't put any salt in my salmon croquettes. I just put an egg and a few crackers and some pepper. I do put pepper in mine. I like pepper in mine. And y'all, I like it with syrup on top and a biscuit. But I've already eaten so many biscuits this morning, I better not eat any more. I'll be so big. We'll put a good bit of little pepper on it. Turn this down a little bit. Let me get me some crackers. If I can find them. You know, I'm the kind of person that just uses what I have. I don't have any soda crackers today, so I'll just use these Ritz crackers. May be delicious, who knows? I'm sure it will be. Okay, there was about 5 in that. Remember now, I'm just using half of that. Somebody gave me this too. Isn't that pretty? It's some pottery. I love the pattern on it. It's really pretty. All right, here we go. This made 2 patties. I'm going to put it in over here and I'm going to fry it. And guess what I'm going to eat on top of mine? I'm going to eat some syrup on top of it. There's the one patty. And here's going to be my other patty. That'll be good on this old cold day. All right. You turn it down a little bit. I don't cook too fast. All right, I want to talk to you a little bit. Let me get my spatula so I'll be ready to flip it over when the time comes. Put y'all over here and let you look at this thing. You can see it. Let me turn on the light where you can see. Can you see better now? All right, there we go. Anyway, I'm just going to heat that up a little bit, cook it. The only thing that really needs to get done in it is the eggs, because the salmon, you know, that's canned. This lady came to the Cottle house this week, or last week actually it was, and she brought me some of her canned things that she had canned. And she bought her a giant canner, she said, and she's been canning all the stuff that her husband grows in the garden. And I mean everything, y'all. She's been canning everything. She even canned some chicken, which I've never done that before. I don't know how to do that. The only thing I've ever canned is green beans and tomatoes. Those are the only 2 things that I've ever canned. You know, other than like jellies and jams and stuff like that. But I'm talking about like really using your canner. But when I was a young bride, my husband planted a garden and we had some of the prettiest string beans you have ever seen. They were just gorgeous. And so I wanted to learn to can them. Now I'm in my 20s at this time. And so I called, what we have here in Alabama is called, I'm sure they have it in other states too, it's called the Home Extension Service or something like that. So I called them and I told them that I would like to learn how to can green beans, that, you know, I had a lot of them. So they told me what to buy, and I bought me a canner. I bought me some quart jars and the lids and the rings and all that stuff. I'm going to flip this over. And she said, when you get everything bought up and it's there, I want you to call me. I said, okay. So I did. I called her. And she said, now, what time would you like me to come over? And I'm in shock. I mean, you know, how many times in life has somebody actually come to your house and taught you how to do something? There's been 2 times in my life. I'll tell you the other time in a minute. But she came over to the house and she actually stayed with me all day long. And at that time, I had 2 little babies too. I had a 2-year-old, well, I guess he's about 2.5 then. And then Hannah, she was like 6 months old, because there's only 2 years difference in their ages. And she stayed with me. She showed me how to do it. She told me how to get the bubbles out of the jar. She was so good. I don't even remember her name. But she did her job well. She did. And the only other time somebody actually came to my house and taught me something was a lady named Belle Johnson, and she used to go to Bethany Baptist Church with me at church. And I was young then too, and I said I wanted to learn how to quilt. So she said she would teach me. And so she came over to the house. I had already pieced the quilt and put the quilt all together, and I even had some appliques on it. But anyway, she came to the house. She set up a quilting frame in my den and then proceeded to show me how to quilt. And when she did, to show me how to quilt, well, my stitches weren't that good. They were kind of big, and far apart. And they judge how well your quilt is by how close your stitches are and how many stitches you can get in an inch. Mine weren't so good, y'all. But anyway, she said, oh, you'll get better when you practice. So I practiced and practiced, and it took me well over a year to finish that quilt. Got a fuzz on me. Anyway, I did finish it, and it was beautiful. And in my lifetime, I've done 2 big quilts, one for my daughter and one for my son. And then I did each grandchild kind of like a little baby quilt or some kind of something like that for them. I enjoyed it. So that's the 2 times in my life when somebody's been to my house and shared their talents with me. And in the Bible, I keep telling y'all this, it says the older ones should mentor and teach the younger ones. Now that doesn't just mean in canning beans and quilting. That means in home life, how to get along with your husband, tips on raising your children. We older ones can teach the younger ones. That's what we need to be doing. Y'all, this smells so good. I wish you were here with me on this old cold day. We fix us a pot of coffee and have a salmon croquette with some syrup on top. All right, it's good and brown. Looks like a pancake, doesn't it? All right, I got 2 of them here. And I am going to pour me some syrup on top. Somebody the other day gave me some syrup. It's a ribbon cane. Have y'all ever heard of ribbon cane? It came in a big can, but I decided I'd put it in a jar. So I did. I just put it in this jar. Ribbon cane syrup. And another kind of syrup that's real good that I used to get a lot, but I think they still make it in Mississippi, but I'm not positive, is called sorghum. Now sorghum is a stronger syrup. It's real dark and stronger, but this is like ribbon cane syrup. And so what I do is I just take the salmon and I just put me a little syrup on top like this. And yeah, how many of you know what this jar is right here? What is it? Okay, you younger ones, do y'all know what this is? My sweet darlings, this is a milk jug. And when I was a little girl, the milkman would come to our house and he would put milk on the front porch, and Mother would leave out, you leave out the old jug. So she'd leave a jug out there, and it would say like if she wanted a quart of buttermilk and a quart of sweet milk and maybe some chocolate milk for us or something like that. And he'd put it out there. And then they'd put the price out there and everything. But it had a paper ring right in here. There's a little lip. And it had a paper ring right there. So this is an old milk jug, and I love it. Of course, I love all kind of old things. And since I don't have a top that fits it, I got me a top. I hope y'all are having a good day. Remember that you are loved by the Lord and that He is in charge and He's got you covered. Ask Him to build a hedge around you and protect you, as the Bible said, to build a hedge around us and protect us with your strong and mighty hand. And I praise His name. I tell you what, I don't know what I'd do without Jesus. He's the light of the world. He's the answer. He's the everything. Hope y'all have a great day. I love you. from one Christian girl to another. You know, a lot of you out there are Christians that you're my sister in Christ, aren't you? Love y'all. Have a good day. May God bless you. Bye-bye.